a serious expression. The mother said to her son that an angry fox fairy had just claimed that you had seen something you shouldn't have seen, so you cannot be allowed to return home. Then she took out a dagger and handed it to her son, and wanted him to kill himself to pay for his sins, but he still had a chance to live, and that was to take the dagger to beg the fox fairy for forgiveness. But the boy did not know where the foxes lived. The mother said they were at the end of the rainbow. The boy stood at the gate and looked at it for half a day. Then he took the dagger his mother gave him and walked through the colorful flowers, step by step towards the end of the rainbow. A group of Japanese soldiers slowly walked out of the tunnel with a straight step. They were all blue like ghosts wandering the earth. Then they came up to the officers and reported. The officers looked at the soldiers in front of him with a panicked expression, but his throat seemed to be half choked up. What the hell is going on here? Just an hour ago, the officers was released as a prisoner of war and returned home. As it passed a tunnel, there was a sudden wail from inside. Then a dog with explosives came out. It kept barking at the officers. The officers was so frightened that it took a few steps back. He confronted the dog for a moment, and then turned around and walked into the dark tunnel. The tunnel was so silent that only his footsteps were left. The officers was a little scared. When he was out of the tunnel, suddenly there was the sound of stepping behind him. A blue soldier came out. The officers immediately recognized that it was his subordinate who had died in the war. The officers was frowning in fear. He clearly remembered that this soldier was lying dead in his arms on the battlefield, but now he appeared in front of him in the form of a ghost. The soldier pointed to the lighted house in the distance and said that it was his home, and that his parents were waiting for him to return. The officer said guiltily, "You're really